Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be looking at configuring a network using RIP version 1. We could look at version 2 as well, but the configuration is the same basically. RIP stands for Routing Information Protocol. It's a distance vector protocol that uses hop count as its metric. Okay, so the goal is for all these devices to be able to communicate with each other from routes or routes that have been learned dynamically. Okay, so that is what we are going to be covering today, and let's just dig right into it. So we are going to start by configuring the basics on these devices. We shall configure the basic settings. We give it a host name. Okay, this is router 1. Configure terminal, and then host name is R1. We secure our router. We secure our console port. Okay. It will be required to log in. We secure our remote sessions. Let's secure 6 of them. Password is Cisco. Okay. And let's disable the timeouts. And we avoid interruption when typing our commands. Okay, and we can do the same for the remote lines. And we also disable timeouts. In a production environment, I strongly discourage this setting. The prompt should be able to time out by itself. Okay, so we exit that. Let's also configure banner message of the day. You can say authorized access only. Okay, and pretty much that's it. So we can save. Oh, this is actually a reminder. We should have disabled domain lookup. Okay, so that is what we are going to do right after this. You can cancel this process. I think it is Ctrl+Shift+6. Okay, so we shall say no IP domain lookup. All right, and then we save. Okay, that's it. Let's configure basics on router 3. Okay, so we shall do it real first. Hostname R3, enable secret Cisco 9 console 0, password Cisco, login synchronous, now exit timeout. Proceed. We secure our remote lines. Let's secure 6. Let's say password Cisco. Login. and no exec timeout. Okay, and no IP domain lookup. No IP domain lookup. And banner message of the day. Authorized access only. Okay, so I'm just moving through this pretty fast because I'm sure you know this by now. If you don't, please rewatch my previous videos. I explain all this in detail. Okay, so let's save this, and that's it. We go to the third and final router. We give it its basic settings. In case you feel like you have any questions you want to ask, you can always type them in the comment section. Okay, this is how to enable secrets, Cisco line console 0 password, Cisco. Okay, all this I'm sure you know by now. Yep. In case you don't, you can always rewatch my previous videos. I explain all this in detail. Okay. Login. Okay. All right. And then we can do the no IP domain lookup, and we'll configure banner message of the day. Authorized access only. And then we can save. All right. Now what is left is to configure these interfaces with IP addresses. Okay. We shall be following this topology that you see on the screen. So let's start with router 1. Okay, R1. It has 3 interfaces we are going to configure. There's this serial interface, serial 2.0, and then we have this fast Ethernet 0/0 and serial 3.0. So let's start with the fast Ethernet interface. You say interface fast Ethernet. I cover all this, configuring interfaces and assigning them IP addresses in my previous videos. So I'm basically just rushing through this. So interface fast Ethernet 0/0 IP address. We'll give it that IP address 192.168.3.1. They are all /24. So just do this. Let me just move this up such that you're able to see clearly. All right. .0. Okay. And then it brings it up with the no shut command. And you can see it changed the state to up. Okay. And we've got to the next interface. Serial 2/0 IP address. This is this interface. Huh? We give it a 2.2. 192.168.2.2. Like I said, they are all /24. And they say no shutdown. All right. Okay. So it will remain down until this other side of this interface of this router 3 also comes up. All right. So we go to now this interface serial 3.0. So we say interface serial 3/0 IP address is a 4.2. Okay. It is on the 4.0 network, so the IP address is the 4.2. So we shall say IP address 192.168.4.2 255.255.255.0. and we say no shutdown. Same thing will come up when this other side of the router comes up, this interface. Okay. So we can exit that and we save. All right. And then let's bring this router up as well. So let me just make sure you move up a bit. Okay. All right. So it has two interfaces, the serial 2.0 and the fast Ethernet 0.0. So we shall configure, so we shall say interface serial 2/0 IP address, this IP address 192.168.2.2.1, okay, 255.255.255.0. And then we say no shutdown. Oh shit, no shutdown. No shutdown. All right. So it brings that up. You can see it's changed state to up. All right. So both sides should be up now. So we go to the next interface. So this is just reminding you that the other side also came up. So interface fast Ethernet 0/0 IP address 192.168.1.1. All right. And that's a 255.255.255.0. And we say no shutdown. All right. And that is up. So we can save and we'll move on to the next router. So IP addressing should be done on these two routers. And we are finally concluding with our router. Okay. All right. Let me just move this a little bit higher. Okay. So we shall say we are configuring two interfaces, this serial 3.0 and then the fast Ethernet 0.0. So we shall say interface serial 3/0. The IP address is f4.1. Okay. IP address 192.168.4.1 255.255.255.0. No shut. All right. So it brings that up. So the other interface, this side, should also come up shortly. Actually, it is already up. So that's it. You see that? So we shall say interface fast Ethernet 0/0. This one here. It's a 5.1 IP address 192.168.5.1 255.255.255.0. All right, and we bring it up as well. That's come up, and then we can save our work configuration. All right, so IP addressing is done, and let's assign the PCs with IP addresses. Okay, which should be simple. So this we shall give them a .10. 192.168.1.10. All right. And the gateway, the default gateway is this interface. This is how it gets off its network. 192.168.1.1. And that's it. That should be it. Let's see if we can ping our default gateway. So we can say ping 192.168.1.1. And sure enough, we can reach it. So let's do the same for this. This is on the 3.0 network. We go to ipconfig. We say 192.168, right? .3.10. We said we are using the .10 set kind of setup. So we shall say its default gateway is the .3.1 interface. That is how it gets off its network. That is how it gets off its LAN. All right. And that's it. Let's go to this PC. We also give it an IP address. Okay. We shall give it a .10 as well. So it is a 192.168.5.5.10. And its default gateway is a 5.1. 192.168.5.1. Okay. And that's it. So we can try to ping 1.10 and see if we shall be successful. We close this. It's not what we wanted. So let's come here. We can set ping 192.168.1.10. All right, destination unreachable. It's because there is no way to reach. It knows where to send the packets. This PC, as being from PC1 to this PC0, this PC knows how to send its packets up to this router, but this router doesn't know how to get off its network, where to send the packets, and that is where we are going to configure our routes. Okay, remember we are configuring routes using RIP or RIP version 1. Okay, so we are going to we are going to make sure the router learns of new routes using RIP. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to activate dynamic routing by typing router. If you want to see which commands are available, you can just use a question mark. There's BGP, EIGRP, OSPF, and RIP, routing information protocol. So we are going to start with that. RIP is convenient for very small networks. However, if the network keeps on expanding, we strongly discourage it. I'll be taking you through routing protocols much later on. We are starting with practicals, however. So router RIP, and just like that, we've activated RIP. You can see we are in the router mode now. Okay, so all we need to do is to advertise directly connected networks. Okay, you advertise your directly connected networks. So here we shall advertise this network, and this network. All right, that is all we are going to do. So we are going to configure that. Yes, so we are going to configure that by saying network. You use the network command and then the network you are advertising. All right, so we can say 192.168.2.0. Okay, and then network. So we've advertised this. Let's advertise the 3.0. 192.168.3.0. Okay, and then we can say network. We advertise the 4.0. Those are the 3 directly connected networks to router 1. All right, so that 4.0. You advertise the network, not the interface. Okay. Yes. And once we are done with that, we can just save. All right, so we can just exit and do right. You can save. Then we go to router 3. We advertise the 2 directly connected networks, 2.0 and then 192.168.1.0. So we shall say router RIP. Okay, that's all you need. And then network, which network is directly connected. You advertise the networks. It advertises the networks it knows about. So directly connected networks. 192.168.2.0 and 192.168.1.0. Okay, and we can save this. Okay, actually we could just do a show IP routes. All right, so you can see it now of two directly connected networks. All right, but it has learned of two other networks. Okay, .3 and .4 through RIP. R is RIP. The codes are here. R is RIP. All right. And if you do the same, if you check on this as well, you can do show IP route. And you can see it also has also learned of this .1.0, this one here. Okay. The rest are directly connected into it. All right. So that should be good. Let's configure router, let's configure RIP on this as well. So we shall say router RIP. By now you should be familiar with this network. We advertise the 5.0, 192.168.5.0, and then you also advertise the 4.0, 192.168.4.0. Okay, we can save that, and we can do show IP routes. We see the available routes. So it knows of two directly connected networks, the 5, this one here, and the 4, this one here. All right. But it has learned of 3 other networks through RIP. Okay, this. So it's now more intelligent. It knows how to get to the .1 network, this one here. Knows how to get to the 2 network, this one here, but it also knows how to get to the 3 network, this one here. So that is how it learns its routes. Okay, RIP advertises its networks every 30 seconds. So this now knows how to get to the .5 network. Remember before, it never knew how to get there. It only knew of 2 routes because RIP hadn't been activated on router 2. Okay, so that's it. It should be okay now. You should be able to ping. Remember, our pings were failing. Not terminal. We want the command prompt. So you should now be able to ping successfully. You see that? Yeah. And that should be the same for this PC. We can ping 192.168.5. We are pinging this network 5. What? 5.1? Yes, 5.1. And it should be successful. And yeah, you basically configure the network using the routing information protocol, or RIP version 1. Yeah, so that's basically it. In the next video, we shall be advancing with our networking series. So I would like to thank you for viewing, and I'll see you in the next video.